to AFCON special from our stable here. Well, now I won't be doing it alone. I have Damilola Onifade with me. Well, we'll be talking about all the action that happened from the game between Nigeria and Ivory Coast. Well, I'm sure you are happy, and even right here in the studio, we are happy. Damilola, how are you feeling about after the game?
Compared to last Saturday, I'm very happy. It's good to be here again to do this. It's good. I mean, the last match was more like me coming and bashing the team all over.
Okay.
But some respite today. A bit of some little things that the coach needs to work on. But there is no perfect team anywhere in the world. So it's an improved performance. And I think the improvement came from the coach. The tactical setup of the team was much better, gave us a bit more balance. Even with Alazan absent, I think he was able to manage that process. And a bit more from every player on that pitch. A bit more from every player. Olaino was excellent. Calvin Bassey was monstrous.
Before we start talking about the performance of individuals and the team generally on our review. Now, first, if you are to rate Pesero, going by this game, how will you rate him? Quickly.
On this game?
Yeah. Just this game.
I think I'll give him a 6.
A 6 out of 10. Well, I think that's fair enough.
I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, but were you expecting the result?
This result?
Yeah.
No. To be honest with you, earlier today I told some people, I said the best I was expecting is a draw. Knowing that this is a 24-nation tournament. If we still win the last game with a draw today, 5 points will still take us through. Not as even one of the best losers. At 5 points, you probably will still be second. Maybe not top the group. So I wasn't expecting it. So for me, it's much improved.
Okay, well, before the kickoff to the Eagles game, Equatorial Guinea defeated Guinea-Bissau 4-2.
Expected.
Do you think that played a role in their mentality, their psyche?
It definitely did. And I think maybe that's the plus, that we had to play second, and we know already that we are third. We're third already. So we know that if we must go through, because in the last game, it's going to be a bit more dicey for Ivory Coast now. Whatever you think of Equatorial Guinea, yes, a more smaller side compared to the Super Eagles and Ivorians. But then the back of the Ivorians are now pushed to the wall. The Super Eagles can go to the last game knowing that we are playing the whipping boys of the group. And all things being equal, we should not lose that game.
We shouldn't
lose that
it's
game.
Looking like,
so we're in a very good place.
Before the the game, like let's say before 6 p.m. earlier, the Eagles were third on the log. But they could be ending this group as the leader.
Of course, we can. We have a very good chance of doing that. What do I mean? If we take a win against Guinea-Bissau in our last game, that puts us on 7 points. If Ivory Coast and Equatorial Guinea play a draw, which is a very, very strong possibility, Equatorial Guinea goes to 5, and then Ivory Coast go to 4. They will still qualify, most likely as one of the third best teams. It will be quite embarrassing for them.
It may not happen for them because they've lost.
Yeah, they've lost, but
we don't know what will happen.
If they draw, they will be 4 points. They won their first game. I think they might just be lucky. Now it's going to be difficult. It's good that we are not the one holding the calculator. That is Ivory.
Like you said, I remember myself and the guys in the control room. We're talking about now we're back to the days where we were always doing the permutation now. But I think we're a bit relaxed now.
Yeah, we are. We're a bit relaxed.
I can see it on your face. You're relaxed as well.
Honestly, I am. Maybe I might even, forgive me if I'm overpraising the team, really. And that's because I had no expectation coming into this game. I even thought we would be lucky to get a draw. But then looking at the team, now, this is not a game that you want to play down the Ivory Coast did not play well. No, they didn't play well because we didn't make them play well. Look at the start in the first half. We had 7 shots on goal, none on target. They had 6, 3 on target. It means that defensively we're solid. Our goalkeeper was available to do his job when it was required of him to do it. And whether we like it or not, we also put them under pressure. There is a bit more fluidity in that midfield. Yes, if you want creativity from this team, you'll just be wasting your time because there is no player in this 25 that is creative. So what we can demand of them.
Maybe for Kelechi Iheanacho, who according to him yesterday said he was fully fit, but surprisingly, he was not in action today.
Well, of course, you can say he was fully fit, but for me, I'm not going to blame the coach. The balance was good because today he had to play 3-4-3 kind of formation.
We talked about it. We talked about it on Sunday.
So that also helped. And when you play that formation, Where do you want to play Iheanacho in that formation? You can't play him from the wings. You can't play him deep in midfield, which Iwobi can do. The other option is to bench Osimhen, and that would be suicidal.
Now, let's look at the defenders.
Yeah.
A clean sheet today. When was the last time we were able to keep a clean sheet?
Maybe when we employed Pesero.
Yeah, that was the last time. And I was surprised seeing Calvin Bassey taking the role of Alhassan Yusuf in the midfield. I was surprised to see that, but I think it was right to stick with Semi Ajayi, Trustekong, and Zaidu.
Whatever he did between Sunday and now, 4 days, to get them to play at this level, you have to credit the coach.
Yeah.
Because these are the same set of players. We were here last Sunday, and I actually criticized those guys that I do not see anything in them that shows that they are ready for this competition. But today, they all gave their all.
Yes.
AFCON led when he needed to lead. For Semi Ajayi's lack of pace, he was able to time his run. He did not run into unnecessary tackles that would make him gas out early. Zaidu Sanusi was very, very purposeful. I mean, Calvin Bassey has enough energy to burn, and he burned it at the right time all through the game. For me, I think they didn't go past him at any point.
Yeah, at no point was he beaten.
And then Olai not too.
Today's game was Calvin Bassey's best performance for the Super Eagles.
No argument.
No argument about that. Today's game was his best performance for the Super Eagles. Yeah. And it was everywhere. At a point, I thought he might not be able to go the 90 minutes. We know the kind of player he is. So, but I was surprised. So for me, apart from Calvin Bassey, we also saw Ademola Lookman. What do you have to say about that man who was everywhere today?
I've always said that Ademola Lookman is the kind of player that you don't overcoach. What do I mean? The natural skill is there. Yeah. He has all the basic football education because of where he developed his game from. So you don't overcoach him. Yeah. What you just do is just tell him, this is your mandate on this pitch. And then the young man, you see, when you want to overcoach players like that, you limit them because they become too careful. They don't want to play on the wrong side of the court. But you could see today that with this formation, he had very little reason to go back. Yeah. All his job is to control the ball once it comes into his own half, and he did it well.
But we saw something, I don't know if Pesero will continue with that, or probably it was just for this game. Ademola Lookman started the game on the left. Yeah. But at a point, we saw him drift into the middle with Zaidu covering the left flank. Yeah. And that seems to put Sergi Aurier out of position.
That was the idea.
It seems to work.
That was the idea. It was the idea because, the Ivorians had planned that our wingers are always hugging the lines. Yeah. So what he did well today was, even when Chukwueze was there, for whatever you think of his final product, he also did not hug the line. The way Moses Simon did and Lookman the last time. So they were coming to the middle, allowing the wing backs now to have free reign. Yeah. And that was making the Ivorian defense a bit imbalanced because now the concentration is not just on Osimhen. Yes. So who exactly, if the fullbacks come in, there is a full stadium available to the fullbacks to run into. Okay, now, and that was a problem for them.
It was a
thumbs
problem
up to Pesero.
Yeah, thumbs up for Pesero. I've not been a big fan of Pesero, but for today...
I don't think I'll ever be a fan. But I can credit him when he does well.
Let's give it to him today. He did very well today. But Osimhen, what do you think is wrong?
I don't think anything is wrong. I think the coach needs
a sit-down. I think the coach needs
a sit-down with him.
He missed another glorious chance.
Yeah, a sit-down in the sense that you have to understand that no pressure. You are still Osimhen. Forget the African Footballer of the Award. Forget each time you move past, the Ivorians identify you more than anybody. Forget that. This is it. You can play this thing. You can score goals. That's your job. Forget who you are. Yeah. Just go to this pitch and just do your job. I think he's putting too much on himself. You can even see when he was substituted, he became the assistant coach.
Yes.
So I think,
But I think that's one thing a lot of people love about Victor Osimhen. Yeah, he was unable to get on the score sheet today, but he did make the assist. He got the penalty, and that is one thing you can't take away from him. Always fighting to get the ball, and it was, his zeal that won us the penalty, which was coolly, expertly, and... Give me another adjective.
Well struck.
Well struck. Converted by Trustekong.
I was surprised. No. I thought Osimhen would take the penalty, actually.
This is the second time we saw Trustekong stepping up to take a penalty. Osimhen, yes. Now, the same thing happened today. Now, look at the way he played the penalty. Yeah, short. The penalty reminded me of a particular striker.
Is that Rashidi?
That is it.
No style.
No style. Just, even if you are going for the ball, it's going to be difficult to stop it.
Yeah.
The accuracy was there, the power was there, the pace, everything, and it struck it well. And to make it good, it sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. So now, it's been a while we saw a captain step up like that. What do you think?
I think it's a sign of good leadership from him. And again, it comes down to what we normally say. You must have a playing captain. I don't believe in this idea of the captain, the leader in the dressing room. I mean, I don't believe in that. I think football has gone beyond that. You need a captain on the pitch that is bold enough to step up for his team when they go and get stuff.
Yes.
Again, credit to Pesero. It's very difficult to have a goal-scoring striker in the mold of Osimhen, Lukman, Samuel Chukwueze, Iwobi, and then you call a defender to be taking penalties. But then they must have seen something in training that convinced them that he's best. And again, the leadership.
He had taken 3 penalties for Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned. That I've seen him. He had taken 3 penalties for Nigeria, and he had converted all 3.
So he's 100%.
So it's 100%. So that means
he's getting something.
He's getting something. But now again, there was an argument that it was not a penalty at first.
It was a penalty.
It was a penalty.
It was a penalty.
That was similar to what we saw in Egypt.
Thank you. I was going to say the same.
It was similar to that.
Listen, but let's be honest. Without VAR, such penalties were not being given.
It wasn't given at first.
Without VAR. But with VAR, the point is there was contact. The guy did not hit the ball. He hit the leg. All you have to do with VAR these days is to be in front of the player. So, and they hit you.
That means, if we say with VAR, probably could have won our 4th AFCON.
No, even without...
I want to take you back to...
2000. Even without VAR, we should have won the AFCON. Even without VAR. The only excuse the referee has that night was Victor Ikpeba's reaction, as if he also missed the ball. Well, that was the only excuse.
That's funny, but thanks to VAR. And now, the way forward. Now we have 4 points from 2 games. What do you think the Eagles should do heading into their last group game on Monday?
Play to win. Play to win. There is something that win does to you. It gives you confidence. It boosts your morale. It is not a time to say it's the whipping boys and then I still believe we should play our strongest 11, at least for a start. Maybe when the game is now in the balance, about 2-3-0 in the second, you can now rest players. I think you should play to win. There is a momentum that winning gives to you. If you don't get that, and then you go into the knockout round, you might be under intense pressure. So I think we should play to win. I don't, at this point, it's difficult for me to say let's make any substitution unless somebody is carrying a knock. But then it will be interesting to see what the coach will do if Alazan is not available.
But talking about resting the players or their fitness, for me, couple of times we saw the Eagles players, they go down and you panic that what's going on. At a point we saw Zaidu went down twice. And
I even thought he would be substituted.
Trustekon went down as well, holding his tie. I was worried. And also we saw
even Onyeka that came in late.
We saw Onyeka had similar issues. Onuachu. What do you think is wrong with the Eagles?
I don't think it's the players. I also look at that pitch. That pitch is not pristine. It's not the best of pitches at this AFCON. Maybe because it's a new stadium, so the pitch has not really settled in. You see that of all the pitches you've seen, it's the only one that is pulling off. So that might also... So what we need to do is, again, we are not in Ivory Coast, so you don't know the state of the camp. Probably because sometimes pitches also define the kind of boot you use. I hope we are playing with the right boot. But I think the players are managing it well.
There is still an argument that we are not the only one playing on that pitch. We also have the Ivorians, but they were not going down the way our players did.
But they've played on that pitch longer than we have.
Don't you think the training is also a problem?
Well, with what has happened in Sadiq Umar, you can question a lot of things that is happening in camp. But until when certain things becomes obvious. I wouldn't want us to speculate. The point is, coming into this AFCON, we've not been lucky with injuries. I mean, we have as much as 3 solid players that pulled out because of injury. And sometimes when that happens to a team, it brings a bit of panic. Some of these things we see that they are falling, that might just be normal niggling knocks here and there. It might not even be a big deal. But again, in our first game, another player got injured. So we have to be careful. It seems injuries has it for us in this AFCON, so we just have to be careful. Manage the time that the players have to also assert themselves so much.
Managing the time and managing the crowd. We did not play just 11 players today.
We played the whole of Ivory Coast.
We played the whole of Ivory Coast. And the government declared public holiday
for schools.
Come on.
Because we are Nigeria. So when we say we are giants of Africa, now you should understand
people
why.
Still argue that we are no longer giants of Africa.
No, the point is, listen, we will always be giants of Africa. But do we behave as such?
Declaring public holiday for a group
do we behave as such?
It's not a final.
We don't behave like that.
Well, it's not a final.
It's not. But you see, for them, a lot, it's more than football.
Yeah.
And that's what we say. Sometimes when you say these things, because you are in this, people think it's because you are in this side, on this side. It's more than football. The pride of the nation was at stake. It's not just Nigeria, Ivory Coast being played in Egypt, being played in Tunisia. It's actually being played in Ivory Coast, in the capital.
Abidjan.
So what we did today, sporting-wise, was conquer the whole of Ivory Coast in their home backyard. We took them to their kitchen. We took them to their kitchen and destroyed them there.
You can say that
and it's good that we can have a laugh over this.
But I saw some tweet before we came live on set, and some Nigerians, despite the results, were still not confident. And truly, we've seen this before, that this same Nigeria, against Equatorial Guinea, they might just lose.
No,
it's something we've seen in the past.
I think if we lose against Equatorial Guinea, it will be a total disaster. It will undo all the good things they've done today. Yeah. I don't see that happening. Like I said, I might be guilty of overpraising them. It's not as if we had a perfect performance, but we had an improved performance. And whether we like it or not, we won a game that many people did not think we'll win. So credit to them. What I don't like doing on a night such as this, even if this game was played in the afternoon, is that when a team wins, credit them. Maybe tomorrow, we can watch the game and pick out the minuses. But for tonight, let's celebrate this one.
There's one person we've not actually talked about, and I think it would be unfair if we fail to talk about him on this match review, and that is Stanley Nwabali.
Nwabali, yeah.
Against Equatorial Guinea, it was not tested. The only goal that came, that was on target, the only shot that was on target went into the net.
And wasn't his fault.
That was no fault of his. There was no way you could have faulted him for that goal. But today, in the first 15 minutes, he made 3 saves. And the same in the second half. But Nwabali will always be Nwabali. The only yellow card of the game for time wasting. We've known him for that.
No, which is fantastic.
Time wasting specialist.
For me, it's fantastic. You know what I said? Immediately picked the yellow card. I said the next minute you have someone else will go and pick another one. Just keep wasting the time.
But looking at his performance, holistic, taking at it from a holistic view, how will you rate his confidence?
That's the first thing I was going to mention. Even in the game against Equatorial Guinea, when he didn't have so much to do, I said he looks confident. It's not usual that you see a goalkeeper come into a big tournament on his debut, and he's commanding his line. Because goalkeeping these days is more than when you catch the ball. The things you do to command your line, free kicks, corner kicks, and then you set your lines, is also, he got all those right. True. There was only one period that scared me when he punched the ball back rather than punch it to the side, and then the Ivorian, that was Edu Sanusi's error in the first half. But whether you like it or not,
but that shot would have gone in.
No, you actually caught him.
If it had been,
it would have been who?
Uzoho.
Are you sure?
It could have gone in.
Yeah, it could have.
No, but the point is, remember the game against Tunisia, the last AFCON tournament, where we won all the 3.
Maduka Okoye.
Was it Maduka Okoye?
It was Maduka at the AFCON.
Francis Uzoho?
No, it was Maduka at the AFCON. It was Francis Uzoho for Ghana going to the World Cup. So they both were the reason why we didn't do anything.
Long range shot went in.
Yeah.
And today we saw 2 of those.
Yeah. Nwabali, again, credit to Pesero.
And
as much as
this is someone nobody knew. A lot of people, don't let me say
a lot of people.
A lot of people knew nothing about him until 2 weeks.
Yeah, to the AFCON.
To
be honest with you, I never thought that Pesero would have the balls to play him. Yeah. So that's also another credit to him. I think the coach is making 1 or 2 key decisions.
Okay.
And I hope those key decisions will keep working for him, because I'm still not tactically convinced.
So what's the first one?
The first one is playing Alazan.
Okay.
The last time. He could have benched Alazan and played Aribo, but he played Alazan. The second one is playing Nwabali over these 2 games. That was bold enough. And even today, he had to tweak after seeing the first game and played a more balanced formation. And you know the strange thing. Even Pesero himself, I've heard an interview where he said the best formation for this set of players is 5-3-2. or 3-4-3, whatever arrangement you want to set up, only for him to go to the tournament and play 4-3-3.
4-3-3. So now he reverted back.
He reverted back, and it's a better balance.
Yeah, but now we'll be playing Equatorial Guinea next. Do you think he should stick with this formation? Because Alazan will be back. Alazan will be back, and hopefully Enacho will be fit for that game. Do you think he should stick to the guys that play today, or probably make few changes?
I think he can stick if he wants to, but if there is any change, if he must play Alazan, because Alazan is a more boss-to-boss player. Yeah. But I don't know how that will not affect the balance, because if Alazan is boss-to-boss, and then you have Iwobi that will not stay in one place. Because the little balance you have today is that Franco Yenka was the one doing the dirty work for Iwobi.
True.
I think if he has to play this formation, Alazan might not start. Okay. Might not start. Except, they still have a few days to try some new things in training. But based on what I've seen today, Alazan might not start in this formation in the next game if he sticks to this formation.
But one player who people are still looking forward to seeing on the pitch is Terry Murphy. And do you think Pesero could have given him just a minute or two today? Because at a point, Pesero actually put a lot of pressure on the team. Yeah, he did very well, trying to keep a clean sheet. But I felt the Eagles, they sat too deep.
Because he made the substitutions a bit too early. And around the 60-70 minutes, he
started
making
that was unlike
Yeah.
And at a point, he brought on two defenders. That was when Omero and who was the other guy?
And
Osai Samuel.
And brought out Lukman.
And he brought out Lukman.
And Zaidu.
For me, bringing in two defenders. And at that particular point, what it meant was that we had 8 defenders on the pitch.
But then he created the balance later.
The last time I saw that, permit me to use it, this was in the Premier League. And that was Manchester United against Arsenal. And it was due to injuries, that United were forced to field 7 defenders.
No, but this one was due to desperation to win.
But for me, we are talking about Nigeria, for heaven's sake. Yeah, we're happy we won, but that doesn't mean...
No, you're talking about... You're talking about Nigeria, but you're talking about playing Ivory Coast in their backyard.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of pressure.
Okay.
We needed to win more. They came into that game with 3 points. We had 1. So I can understand some of those decisions. But again, the next substitution also creates a little balance. He pulled out Osimhen for Onuachu, who has a better link-up play, better hold-up play. And you saw that. You saw that. Yeah. You could notice that immediately it came on, the Ivorian defense were not as relaxed as they were. Because not that Osimhen cannot also do the same, but Osimhen will not stay there. Osimhen will keep going back. And so each time you pop the ball forward, there is no Nigeria.
Nobody to receive the ball.
And so I think he was able to find the balance. So that's why I gave him 6. I didn't say 7 or 8.
I understand the fact that we played the host today, and it's not always easy. Trust me, till the end of the game, of the tournament, if God's willing, we made it that far, do you think the Ivorians, the crowd, do you think they will support the Eagles?
There is every likelihood that they won't.
We will be booed at every stadium we go to now.
They won't. We are playing against the Ivorian crowd now. No. They won't. I mean, there are places you play in Africa that you don't expect support as a Nigerian. You play in Cameroon, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal. You don't expect support.
Yeah.
If they ever have any support for you, it's for individual players. But as a team, they will not support you. Because we are a potential threat to their own team, even when we've not played them. So you don't expect that.
Okay. And lastly, do you see probably a rematch between Nigeria and Ivory Coast?
It's a possibility. They play at home. Again, it must be said that this Ivorian generation of players is also dropped a step down to what we've known Ivory Coast to have, as we're just like the Super Eagles. So there is a chance that the home support, a bit of rejigging on their part too, can also take them as far as the semi-final or the final. You just might have a rematch. And
probably we could be saying that the Eagles coming up against...
It's possible.
Well, it is possible. Well, it is also possible that we will be back here. Obviously, we'll be back here in the studio to give you more of match reviews after every Eagles game. And what that means is we hope that the Eagles make it far.
Definitely, they should make it far. Final? I take it 1 game at a time. Okay,
well, let's take it 1 game at a time. Also, from our stable here, we'll be taking it 1 game at a time until we come your way again next time. Stay blessed and enjoy the rest of your night.